Is Rob Dauster. That gentleman you see with me is the one and only Jeffrey Goodman. We are presented by Bet Rivers Sportsbook. Jeffrey, we allegedly have a surprise guest here, but there's no one here to surprise me yet. The only thing I see is your mug, as usual, which is no different than any other Saturday morning. So
he will be here. I promise you, he will be here unless technology gets in the way. I promise you, he will be here. So. Just give it a second. He'll show up. You have no idea.
No clue.
Who is on their way. No idea.
No clue. Last time you dropped Ken Palm on me, which was quite enjoyable.
It was a pleasant surprise. Ken Palm and his mullet, right?
Yeah, Ken Palm was looking good, looking sharp. 7:00 in the morning in Utah. It was probably still dark.
He was ready to go.
He was ready to go.
So that's
all right. There. So last night was a pretty boring slate of hoops. But is there anything that you think is worth mentioning? Do you have any takeaways? We had some Atlantic 10 action. We had some Mountain West action.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I mean, really, the only thing that mattered, I guess, St. Louis getting killed mattered because we can officially kind of rule St. Louis out as an at-large now. Not that they were really in there before, but. And then to me,
oh boy, Jeffrey,
who do we got? You see who we got, don't you?
All right, here we go. Hey, hold on. Oh, let me change the graphics. Covering up your face. There we go.
There he is. You need to move over a tiny bit to get away from that graphic. The other way. The other way. Go, no.
This way.
Yeah. Listen, this is homemade here.
Man, it's homemade. You guys got it going. Why don't I just move the computer?
There you can do that too. How you doing? Stanford
Good,
Steve,
man. You guys good?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good, Rob. You in Connecticut?
No, I'm in Jersey right now.
Okay. We still get blasted with the snow up there?
Oh yeah. I feel like I've been shoveling 6 inches of snow every other day for the last 6 weeks. That's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm so tired of shoveling.
Everybody down here is so mad at the weathermen in DC. I moved to DC this July. Van Pelt can't stand them because they're wrong on everything. And I'm like, I'm loving it because I'm like, my shoveling days are done.
So you guys haven't gotten hit?
Well, I mean, we've gotten hit, but like not nearly the Connecticut. What was it? 3 weeks ago, we got hit pretty good. And then all of a sudden, it was 50 degrees and everything melted. There wasn't anything. Now it's basically just like some ice and stuff from the other night.
So this is the greatest move for you ever.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Wasn't it?
We just need to get these freaking kids in school, man.
Look, you're telling me you're preaching to the choir over here. How old are your kids?
7, 4, and 1, all girls. Wow.
I got 5 and almost 2. I'm losing my mind. Let's
start with, and I don't know how it's been for you. Obviously, you and Scott are diehard college fans. We know that. Every time I was in Bristol, I would run by and we'd laugh at Scott watching the Maryland game. That was always, honestly, that's we need a cam on him. At some point, can we do it? Can we put a cam without telling him?
No chance. I'll be done.
You'd be done? How about through maybe his wife? Is in April, some sort of joke? Practically, no way.
No,
you wouldn't do it either.
No. We can't do that.
Damn. All right. Anyway,
I only get to tell people about it. How about that?
Because
you've seen it firsthand.
Oh my God, he's out of his mind, Rob. Seriously, he's got issues. Steve's not great when he's watching Stanford, but not really. I mean, you're like I am when I'm watching it. And I'm not like that anymore. But when I was watching,
I'll admit, I'm not great.
Yeah, but you're not like him.
No, I mean, there's not a lot of people like him.
It's out of control. He is so locked in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how he doesn't really watch any other games that night. Everything else is going on around him. And he's got to have people tell him he's really good about multitasking. And he's got to be because he's so locked into a Maryland game and other people are telling him stuff. And somehow he's processing it all while being fixated on the Terps.
I will say this. Before the last 3 seasons, our former researcher, J-Mac, puts together the Maryland schedule and then puts it next to our show schedule, and everybody realizes what we're in for on the same nights Maryland's playing, then we have a show that night. because everybody knows what's going on. He recently sent a Christmas present to Scott's new office here, which is right next to Michael Wilbon and Tony Kornheiser, and it's just a big red sign that just says the Panic Room, established 2020 with the Terps. And as you know, Maryland, I mean, they are fighting their asses off. You know, like they got the wins, and
they're hard to watch, though. They're hard to watch. They're almost harder to watch this year.
They are. I mean, they play their butts off. They're not the most skilled offensive team, but like they've gone in and won some games that they, you know, I think deserve to, you know, prove that they deserve to be in the tournament. You know, knowing the conference, and then, you know, their schedule's been front loaded. You know, the whole time they haven't played any of the bottom teams. They just got 2 against Nebraska, an enormous game. Thank God we don't have to watch it with them tomorrow at the rack. So it's been an interesting ride, but and for his sake, man, like it sucks because we moved here so he could go to Maryland football games, he could go to Maryland basketball games, and can't go to one. Can't go to one.
It's so bad. So bad. All right. So give me if I asked you for you what this college basketball season has been like, how would you describe it?
I feel like it's been obviously unprecedented, but like you talk to coach, like you watch games, you guys watch games, you guys are watching multiple games every night. I'm watching, and the guy, I mean, you see it's just something you haven't seen before because you see the excitement on the benches. Like, I mean, I'm watching Michigan, Wisconsin Sunday afternoon. Like, they're in it. They're off 23-day break. They got a defense chant going down the other end because Wisconsin, you know, in the second half, like you hear that stuff. You hear the sneakers. And then you talk to, you know, we've had Few on a bunch of times after games, and it's just like, it's like this relief. Like, we got through another one. We got through, like, we had Fewy on the night after they beat West Virginia, and they were going to play Baylor that Saturday. It was like Thursday night, and it was just like, we're fine. You know, we got past. We put together this game with. He said he put together the game with Huggins in 10 minutes on a napkin, and they were going to Baylor. Like, that's what everybody wanted, and all of a sudden it's gone. You know, with a night's sleep, it's gone. And then I remember, I think it was you or one of you guys tweeted like the next morning or 2 days, the day of the game it was supposed to happen, like maybe it's better for the sport if they didn't play. Right. Like maybe if we have something to keep looking forward to. So, and then now you factor in the conference tournament and everybody has to have their announcements in by Friday. Like this is, it's really tense, man, because you see the intensity on the court. Nothing's dropped. You talk to coaches. We had Holtman on the podcast. We had Casey Alexander on the show the other night. Their guys want to play, man. They want to play. And I think there's some serious discussions being had with teams and also serious decisions being made with schools. And we're going to see who's really got the juice at these schools because this is different. And I compare, I'm a college football guy, played college football. Like college football, the bowl games, teams were opting out because there's not, I mean, it's a bowl game. And like, listen, I lived off going to bowl games, the best weeks of my life. But now you got these bubble teams who want to play because they got a chance at a championship. Yes. That's what makes college basketball.
Well, not even the bubble teams, Steve. Not even the bubble teams. The team that's in the middle of the CAA saying, you know what, James Madison's the number 1 seed. We could beat James Madison, so we want to play in this conference tournament because we still feel like we have a shot to get to the NCAA tournament. We might have had a couple pauses that affected us, and now we're at full strength. Whatever it is, it's just like one more shot. Where the bowl games, it's like, yeah, it's one more game, but it doesn't mean anything. You're not going anywhere potentially. No,
I totally agree, and that's the difference. And like that's why, I mean, we know how fast it happened. Like last night, really got me pissed off when I saw that senior group from Dayton getting honored and knowing what happened to them last year, man. Yep. Like I still like like whoever you are that's mad about last year. Like I don't care who you are, I immediately think of Anthony Grant, man. Yeah. Like they're never going to get that again.
No,
never.
I agree.
And I just, like last night, they got the seniors out there. Crutcher's been incredible. Yeah. He's got his jersey out there framed with the other seniors. And I'm like, that's brutal, man. That's brutal. Knowing this last year at this time, what they were sitting on.
Dauster?
I'm here.
Are you awake?
I'm waiting to get a word in. You guys are rolling. Like, why am I going to cut you off? This is awesome.
Dauster
here.
just sits there, and you don't know if he's frozen sometimes. This is how
I noticed that. I've been trying to watch as much as I can.
He's like this. And it's like, did he freeze or is he actually still there?
No, Steve, I do have a question though. So I lived in DC for 10 years of my life, and it's one of my favorite cities on the planet. And I'm just, what's the adjustment been like for you? Have you had a chance to go out and experience anything in the city? How much is shut down? I mean, I really miss it down there.
It's like nothing I've ever seen, and that's what I say. Like we were talking, I got three little girls, and the idea of what he's like, you keep trying to tell them what is not at stake, but like what's on the cusp of them being able to experience. Like a year ago, this past weekend, we came down here house shopping. Like we knew like this, it was done. Like we were going to come down. Where are we going to move? We're going to go to Bethesda. We're going to do Potomac. The whole Virginia. Like that was it. We went to the zoo. Girls fell in love. With that thing. Like so, it's like we haven't even been able to go down to DC really and let them run around, the mall and stuff like that. Just with everything's been going on. We lost days of work because Scott had COVID. We lost days of work because of what happened at the Capitol. It's just been a lot, but it's slowly but surely they're opening up. Montgomery County opened up to 25%. They were like the last group that opened up to 25% capacity. So like people could go to sports bars now and watch games, which is really cool. I think obviously everybody's following protocols and stuff like that. But I'll tell you what, people love their basketball hair, man. Like what is it? Paul. The school in Virginia that
Paul the Sixth.
That Roach from Duke went to. Like they played DeMatha the other night, and it was 109-107 in OT. And like the highlights are online. There's a Twitter account, Capital Hoops, which is absolutely phenomenal. Shout out to those guys that are doing work. There's a couple of huge recruits down here. One that goes to Bishop McNamara, a big guy that's rumored to. I guess Georgetown's on his list, but they're coming from all over. Like to see, like Rob, you and I grew up playing high school hoops in Connecticut. They're knocking those cats down.
It's very different down there. It's very different.
That could do some things. So it's awesome, man. Like and to Scott's credit, like Maryland, it is. I asked him on a podcast a while ago, like I don't know what it is, but like these Maryland people and the pride they have for their flag is amazing. Yeah, and then it runs into the campus, the Maryland. Like, so it's really cool because I came down here on a 7th grade class trip with my mom's school back in the day. I mean, 1988 probably. Like that was it. All I had in DC. So like it's even cooler for me to drive into over to Roosevelt Bridge, and see all the monuments and everything coming in. So it's every day for work. So it's been a blast. It really has.
All right. Yeah, I miss it down there. I love it down there. You're gonna grow to feel like it's home eventually. Yeah. Like that's kind of how I felt when we were left. It was pretty disappointing to leave, but I'll tell you this much. You mentioned the flag. One of my favorite things from being down there is when you go to the Maryland games and it's packed, and I'm sure you've been to one before. Yep. And at the first TV timeout in the second half, when they turn the music all the way up and they bring the flag down over the entire, they have that wall of students on the opposite end from the media.
And they roll it all the way up.
Roll it all the way down on top of the entire student section, and the place is just rocking and everybody's jumping. And the way that they set up that arena, it's one of I think the most underrated home court experiences in college hoops, because they have the entire thing of fans all the way around the floor and then a wall straight up on the other side. There's no tiers. It's just a wall of fans. And it's, oh man, I can understand why Maryland fans are insane when they go there.
Yeah, it's Holtman and Garb have talked about this year, glad we came, feel fortunate that there were no fans there. This place is easily one of the toughest in the league. And it's totally different without the fans here because we know how crazy they are.
So give me, you usually go to Vegas, right? Yeah. For the tournament. I've never done it. The year I retire from doing this work, I'm going to Vegas for the whole week and maybe for 3 weeks and just stay there and leave. Have you traveled anywhere?
You were 3 weeks in Vegas, you will not survive, Jeff.
No way.
3 weeks in Vegas with you, no way, no chance.
I actually went out there when they did the Masters in, what was that, October, November?
Yeah.
Scott went to Augusta, and then I went out to Vegas for Daily Wager. So I was out there, you talk about a different vibe, man. some places have the partitions, for blackjack tables. Everybody's masked up. Some people, you can only sit 2 people. I did not sit down at one table when I was out there. The new casino, Circa, opened downtown, which is absolutely incredible. They got the stadium swim. The sports book is the best one I've seen. Wow. So it's really cool, but like the different vibe. I mean, everybody's masked up, like, following rules and stuff like that. But just the vibe, the energy, I think I just saw the MGM family of casinos on March 3rd is finally opening 24/7, 7 days a week. Yeah. So it was different, but yeah, I've actually graduated. Jeff, you and I were out there for when the Pac-12 tournament, and you did Gonzaga. I think you did the wraparound.
Yep.
But I've grown to go out there because I'm in the minority of this. I know it, but I'll say it anyway. I like Conference Championship Week better than the first week of the NCAA tournament. I think there's more at stake. I think the games are better. And I just, being able to be in Vegas and going to the window and betting a game and then walking down the hallway and watching the game, like the Pac-12 tournament, there's nothing like that. Nothing like that. And I grew up going to the Big East tournament in New York. And I mean, that's last time I think I saw you guys. We were doing the double, Jeff. We did Big East in the afternoon, and then we went over to see Duke and Carolina at the Barclays. Like, you can't beat that stuff.
No.
So Conference Championship Week to me captures it all, and it's kind of turned into New Year's Eve is a what do they say, a rookie holiday to celebrate. NCAA tournaments sort of turned into now girlfriends are getting involved in the trip, and it's not the guys. It's amateur hour a little bit, but you got to know where you're going. Obviously, everybody loves the action, but there's not too many places better to be than that place for those 2 weeks.
What would you do if you're me? So they came out yesterday. NCAA comes out and says 25% fans. Okay, so I'm going to go to Indy most likely. I'm going to go, even though I'm not going to have access to anybody. I'm tier 3. Media's tier 3. Obviously, they're tier 1. They don't want us with any players, coaches. I get it. Even though one high-profile coach said that I could be completely embedded within them the entire time, NCAA is not going to allow it, which, again, I understand completely. But now they come out with 25% fans.
Yep.
And it's like, okay, if there weren't fans, it'd be a little easier for me. Now it's like, okay, am I in a hotel and there's a bunch of other fans there? Do we have, it's just a different dynamic now that makes me, I'm not getting the vaccine. I'm not getting it before I go.
Yeah.
So do I go? Do I literally just sit in my hotel room or rent out an apartment for a month and literally just go apartment, 2 game, back to apartment, back to different arena? Like, what do I do?
It's crazy to me. And my problem, Jeff, is I just going with that whole idea of the tournament in Indy right now. I don't think people are really knowing what exactly this is going to be. They already moved the day. It's going to wrap around the first weekend to Monday now.
Yep.
So, and then just the daily traffic, like you guys have been the regionals, like sometimes the off days of the regionals are more busy than the days that there's games. So like, you're just going to have people constantly in and out of the city, going to games, going to press conferences. Are they just going to stay at the hotel? Like, what's the shoot around status? Like how
anything. It'll just be Zoom calls for any press conferences.
You'll easily get more work done at home. Easily.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's
just the environment, though. You kind of want to be able to document what it's like in Indy. But again, I'm gonna walk out of my hotel room and I don't know. Could it be packed? I mean, again, you're talking.
That's what I'm saying. Like
25% is what 15, 20,000 people that are going to be allowed in for the Final Four. And again, you might have other people just coming in saying, all right, well, I'm going to bounce around to a couple games in the first round. This is going to be great. And obviously they're going to have to wear masks, but are they going to be wearing masks outside on the street? Don't know.
No, it's like I said, unprecedented, man. It is. Yeah. It really. And then I saw 500 at Assembly Hall.
Yeah.
What does that seat?
I don't know. It's got to be like.
I think it's 17.
Yeah,
1,000.
I don't know, something like that. So that's minimal. I'm going. Hey, here's how screwed up I am. You know where I'm going tomorrow First game I've been to since November 29th. I'm going to the Bryant Merrimack game tomorrow with my daughter. I'm taking my daughter, and we've got it set up. Nobody else is really in. We're gonna walk in. We're gonna sit at the top of the bleachers. Nobody else is gonna be there. It's right after the Ohio State-Michigan game ends. We'll boot out. We'll go, and then we'll leave like literally horn, but at the end, and we're out.
You're gonna have to pry you away from going downstairs to the press conference.
Press conference. Poor Joe Gallo. He's
not Goodman's gonna be the first guy sitting down. Where's my chair?
That's right.
I want to be at the press conference.
Where's Gallo? Oh man! All right, let's get to the slate today.
We've
waited long enough
slate
for some games today, and we got some good ones. I mean, listen. When Baylor's not playing, it sucks. We haven't had Baylor for a while.
Yeah.
And Gonzaga is in the WCC. They're playing a Division II team today, San Diego. So no disrespect to Sam Scholl. I love Sam Scholl, but they're coming off a pause.
Oh, man. No disrespect, but they're fucking terrible, right?
They're not good. They're not good. They're coming off a pause. It's not fair. So no Baylor. You really don't have Gonzaga. So it does take away from the slate a little bit here, but we've still got some good games. What do you like the best, I guess? Let's start with that. Of the high-profile games, Steve, what do you like the best?
UConn Nova. I think there's a lot of things still to be proven in the Big East. Yeah. I'm still not sold on Nova as being this top a number one seed. I'm really not. Now, can they get there? Of course. And I just keep looking at this game and watching UConn and going back and watching games now that Bouknight's back and watching games when he wasn't playing. Like they've had some serious efforts. Like I know Marquette isn't what they win, but like that win, I think that's actually the game he got hurt.
Yeah.
But like that, what they showed in that game, like I think they have the goods to make a run, and I'm really interested to see what all the small guys, how they match up with Villanova. I think they kind of match up pretty well, but it just feels like Nova's kind of lulling us to sleep here, and they're due for that enormous game where they're 12 of 15 from three, and they're making every shot in the building. So that game to me is really interesting. And I just say on the Big East also is because another team I'm really interested in the Big East because I think they can make a run is Seton Hall. I really like the makeup of that team. I think they're versatile enough. I think Willard's still trying to figure out.
They need Aiken, Steve.
No, I know. And we know what his status has been in years prior, at Harvard and stuff like that. But they're really, really interesting to me because they have the goods. They're tough. They can
like
defend
team,
different ways.
Steve, you don't like these guys? Come on. I'm a Johnny's fan now. Did you hear? Did you hear? I'm a Johnny's fan.
How many hats you got back there? What are you?
He's got a lot.
This one is giving me
as long as you leave that Cal hat down, all right? Just don't put that stupid Cal hat on.
He pissed at me when he saw me with a Cal hat. It was like,
bad. I've
been wearing that hat since I was like, I don't know, probably like 14, 15 years. I just like the hat. I like that.
I don't.
I know you don't. I know you don't like the hat.
What else we got? What do you guys think of Tennessee?
Ask Dauster. Dauster loves the Vols.
Well, no. Here's what I did. So I was on them all preseason, right? I was hyping them up. I have a future on them at 35-1. And so when they went into Missouri and they won by 20, like I celebrated. That was my Super Bowl. And then I kind of let it go, right? I kind of let it breathe a little bit, and then they started losing. So I got my win, right? Like I put out a tweet. They got like 3,000 likes or something like that after they won that game, and now I can kind of just, I took the W when I had the opportunity to take the W.
You're taking L's, is what you're doing now. You're taking L's.
Ever since then, I've taken L's. But I got the win in the moment, man. That's what you got to do. It's hard in these content streets, Steve.
And then I look at. Like Missouri also in that conference. Like, what the heck?
Well, they haven't had Tillman for the last two. So, that's a big part.
If they lose today,
they're in trouble.
You're way on the back.
Yeah, they're in trouble then.
What else we got? Texas Tech, I really like they're coming off the pause. I mean, Kansas, what do you think? Like I think Lunardi has Kansas at a 5 right now.
Yeah, I don't love Kansas. But I like Bill Self at home against a Texas Tech team that is coming off a little bit of a pause here. I'm not and again, I've lost a lot of money on Bill Self this year, a lot of money. But I don't think I'm going to lose this one. And there's no bigger Chris Beard. You guys both know this. There's no bigger Chris Beard fan on the planet than me. Nobody. Like,
this
I
is
would
a tough spot for you, Jeff.
every job.
It's a really tough spot. Because every time, Steve, every time we're on the show, this is what he says. He says, am I really gonna, Bill Self is only laying 3 points. Bill Self is getting 2 points at home. Chris Beard is getting 6 points. So now you have Chris Beard and Bill Self playing against each other.
What do I do?
What are you gonna do? How do you make a pick in this one?
I'm taking Bill Self because it's only 2 points at home. I feel like, again, Texas Tech hasn't played and honestly, I don't think. Here's what I would say. Mac McClung, to me, we know is the key for Texas Tech, right? If he has a 3 for 15 shooting performance, they're not winning. And I feel like you put Marcus Garrett on Mac McClung and you say, that's all you got to worry about today. Like, don't worry about, honestly, they got to take pressure off him running the team. He is just not, he's not a point guard.
No, I was just going to say, do they have guys because he always has to have the ball in his hands? I don't think Beard trusts anybody else with the ball in their hands bringing it up.
Neither team has a real point guard. That's the thing. Neither team has a real point guard. Now, McClung can make plays at least. Marcus Garrett can't really make plays. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, a grinder-type game. Two guys that are, to me, among the best X's and O's coaches in the country. But I don't think it's going to be I want to watch the West Virginia-Texas game more. Because that's going to be a game pleasing to the eye. Like, that's going to be a fun up and down. Like, when have you seen when have you been so excited to watch West Virginia play? Like, now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Besides the Final Four team.
Right.
No doubt. But West Virginia, I mean, God bless their fan base. They're awesome. Yeah. I love them. But man, they've come up to let them down in some big spots. Texas, did they peak early on? I don't know. Like, they're athletic as hell. They could throw some different guys defensively. So Shaka and Huggins, like, they'll have a conversation before the game, all right? Like, on the court, like, masked up. Will the Auburn head coach and the LSU head coach have a conversation?
No, I don't think so. I don't think. No. I mean, if they do, it'll be about as phony can be.
Yep.
Okay. That's an interesting game today.
Hey, did you see the Stackhouse thing to Calipari the other day?
No, I did not.
Oh, you didn't see this? So Cal,
it was good.
Kentucky wins a close one at the end, and Stack right now. I don't know if you paid attention, but Stack's a little upset at a lot of media people.
Wow. So at you, don't say a lot of media people at you.
He is upset at me.
Mad at you.
He's called me racist, basically. He's called me racist. Like, listen, Stack, you're just not a good coach, period. You're just not a good coach. Okay. Anyway, so Cal, after they win, does one of these. Oh. And Stack looks over at him and he goes, and he walks off. I'll send you the video. It was absolutely classic. Like,
I missed that because I was watching the end of that game because the number was intact there late with some free throws on the line.
It sure was.
Yeah.
So we got that one. All right.
Where are you on Virginia and Duke, Steve?
Yeah, I love Virginia tonight.
Yeah, I do too. I'm with you.
I look at the situation, knowing how they got embarrassed Monday night, and I'm a Duke fan. I watch Duke. No one's watched more Duke than me this year, and you go back and look at they played their two best games, obviously, without Jalen. We could draw the dots there. But offensively, they've really found some freedom. And the idea is that they're making shots, But I just think Virginia likes to play defense. Duke does not. Exactly. Give me the team that likes to play defense all the time when two teams like that, match up against you. I think the experience is huge. I think Clark is going to be a pain in the ass. To whoever is handling the ball.
Nobody's affected more by not having fans than Duke. Nobody.
First time, I think somebody said first time in whatever amount of years that somebody else than Carolina is favored in Cameron.
Wow. Well,
it's crazy.
Virginia has owned the regular season ACC. Now, Bennett hasn't owned K specifically, but their record, I post it every so often. It's amazing what Tony Bennett has done the last 7 years in the ACC. He is an elite level coach. We know that. And I think
I want to say Virginia and Florida State are in win percentage in conference games ahead of Carolina and Duke.
I don't know if Florida State is. Maybe over the last 4 years they might.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
And it's done over the last 7. So I'm with you. I like Virginia. I think again, you give Tony Bennett time to prepare for a young team, and everybody loves Duke right now. And everybody's saying,
look at who they've beaten. Let's be honest.
And that's the thing. Everyone's talking about 4-0 without Jalen Johnson. It's Wake Forest twice. It's BC once. It's Notre Dame. And then they blew out NC State without who's the kid that tore his ACL? Devin Daniels.
Yeah, without Devin. Score.
But so my thing with Virginia there is that the reason why what they want to do offensively is basically kind of get Kihei into the lane, because they have their 3 sharpshooters are all big guys. Trey Murphy, Jay Huff, and Sam Hauser. So they want to get Kihei into the lane and then just let them find open guys wherever the help comes from, get it to someone, knock down an open 3. He couldn't do that against Florida State because they have 17 dudes that are 6'6" and athletic. I don't think that I don't think he's going to have a problem getting into the lane against Duke.
The 3 of us can get in the lane against Duke.
That's correct. Do you think Huff will guard Hurt?
Maybe Hauser.
I think Duke is going to start with Williams out there.
Huff will guard
Williams at the 5.
Got it.
So I would guess that he's going to be there. But yeah, I mean, that'll be an interesting matchup.
Yeah, for sure.
Hurt's the guy that scares me though, because I don't know. Look, Hurt can't guard anybody, but Sam Hauser can't really guard anybody either. So
no,
very true.
They're not out there to guard people.
Yeah, no, they're not.
What
do you think of Matthew Hurt's beard? Can I get a take on that?
Brutal. Did you see somebody put the Blue Devil head right next to him? It is identical what he has facial hair wise. There's a picture out there online. It's pretty funny. Have either of you guys been to Pullman to cover a basketball game?
Never. I've never been to Pullman. Never.
We got a big one today there. Just so
big
you know.
One. Huge
big
one.
Big
I know. And to be honest, I think I like the point. Right? Isn't Stanford giving 4.5?
Yeah.
It's a lot of points for Stanford to give.
Tricky spot. I mean, I know it's Washington, but just seeing the whole team play, they haven't had everybody, Jeff, since they beat Alabama.
I know, it's crazy.
And I go back to how good they looked early on. They should have beat Carolina, in the Maui in Nashville. That's the team. That team is dangerous.
How was Zaire against Washington?
Good. Really good. Oh, yeah.
I didn't think he was coming back, by the way. There was a good chance.
I don't think a lot of people did.
Right. Stanford was worried that he was checked out. He was going to pull a Jalen Johnson. And I love Zaire. I mean, I got a chance to talk to him for a while before the season. He is a remarkable kid to talk to. And I'm glad he's back. I'm glad he's finishing it up, especially with everything that team went through.
Yes, no one has had it worse than Stanford during this entire thing. You had the stat the other day, Jeff. What was it? They've been home 6 days.
It was 5 days until they returned. It was 5 days.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Listen, I don't know if they can make a run now. They may be too far off the bubble at this point, but this is a must win. I mean, they're kind of all must wins now.
I almost think they're surviving in advance right now.
Yeah,
I don't think they could lose again.
Yeah, it sucks because, again, I felt like if they were close, maybe the committee would show some mercy on everything that they've had to deal with if they could just be in the bubble. But now you're probably talking about running it, getting to the Pac-12.
I don't think they're in right now. I don't think they're as far out as you guys think they are.
I got them. I have them in right now.
Yeah, they're right there on the edge. I'm looking at Bracket Matrix right now.
Wow. You have BYU in?
I have BYU in.
You're crazy.
Yeah,
you're BYU crazy.
In. I do.
How about them? They're going to really opt out. They're that confident.
This week, they're going to do whatever Gonzaga tells them to do. They're going to do.
Hey, while we're talking numbers, I got a stat for you guys that you got to hear. That I gave out Oregon the other night against Colorado. I had her. You remember Mackenzie, the old researcher, Mackenzie Kramer, Jeff. Unbelievable kid. Yeah. He went back and looked out. He likes the action, obviously. He went back and looked at because I had this. I said, this is when Oregon starts to go. February, March, and it's just put them down for a win. Against the spread, since Dana Altman has been in Oregon, 11 years, okay? Yeah. 11 years in conference games, Oregon is set now. If they covered the other night, 77-46 against the spread in conference games.
That's ridiculous.
Think about that. That's incredible. Like, you always think about, these things like, oh, there's this perception in my head, like they never lose in February and March conference game. Oh, wow. They really don't.
He's so good. He's such a good ball coach. And again, they're like, they're everybody's kind of like sneaky pick now to go to the Final Four. I think everybody who watches a game, who knows Dane Altman and understands the talent that he has at Oregon, like I felt like when they got LJ Figueroa, I was like, all right, that's going to be the X factor for them because he doesn't have to do too much. He didn't fit into Mike Anderson's system at all.
No, he's been way better than I thought because he was just like a standstill guy at St. John's.
Yep, that's right.
When is Duarte going to get the credit that he deserves too?
What else?
I talked about this the other day. Like he should be an All-American.
Who's that?
Chris Duarte.
Yeah.
Oh God, he was phenomenal the other night.
Yeah.
He's been nicked up too. Like I just feel like
their whole team.
He needs that 10 game. Like he was preseason all conference. I want to say.
Yeah.
I mean, he's averaging like I think it's 18 points, 4 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, and shooting 40-something% from three. And I looked it up the other day, and like no one, whatever his thresholds are right now, no one's ever done that in college basketball before since like 1992.
All right, we're about 40 minutes in. We know Steve doesn't have to shovel, but some of us do.
Sorry.
Let's go through you again. Let's go through some other games we like.
Okay, go.
Go ahead, Steve. You're up first.
What do you guys think of Carolina?
So I gave you – I'm not going to say it. But I thought I had some good information early that maybe a couple players from Louisville aren't going to play. Now I think they're going to play. So Louisville's probably going to be close to full strength against Carolina. The thing is, Louisville hasn't played in 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so even though they've got everybody, they've been out for 3 weeks and they haven't been able to practice the last couple days full, a lot of these guys. So I guess I like Carolina, but 5.5 scares me a little bit, especially because Louisville's got – what does Louisville have? They've got veteran guards, good guards. Carolina has, young, talented guards that scare the hell out of me. So I really liked it last night. Now I don't have a huge take on Louisville. How's that?
See, Rob, we back him into a corner, and that's all. And then we see the true colors.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do this every day with them. I really don't.
It's hard, man. Trust me, it's very, very hard.
I like Syracuse. I like the Cuse against Notre Dame.
I just saw that. They need it.
Need it. Syracuse always ends up on the bubble. Always. They're going to get there. Somehow Boeheim's going to get them to the bubble. And this game, they can't lose. I mean, they can't lose at home to Notre Dame.
I got one for you, Jeff. I got one for you.
Go ahead.
Going completely against everything that I've ever talked about on this stream. Minnesota. The team you always want to bet at home, right?
Yeah.
Like with a ball screen point guard and a 5 that can shoot. You always want to bet against Illinois when they play those teams. Well, Liam Robbins has got they call it a severely sprained ankle. Yeah. Gabe Kalsher's out. Yeah. And the last time that these two teams played, Kofi went for 33 and 13 in a 27-point win. So I think it's right now Bet Rivers has Illinois at 4.5. Let me make sure I got that right.
Yeah, I got it.
Either way, 5.5. Yeah. So I love Illinois here. I think they're going to run over Minnesota. It just feels like the bottom is going to fall out of the Gophers at some point.
Okay.
They can't go to the tournament if they don't win a road game.
No, I don't think
Come
they
on.
can.
Come on.
Imagine.
You got to win one. You got to win one.
Just give me one.
Hey, the craziest part, a month ago, I had a long conversation with Richard Pitino about home and road, right? And how the disparity from Minnesota, home and the road, over the years since he's taken over at Minnesota. And he's legitimately taking 20 minutes to try to convince me that there's nothing to it this year, that home road doesn't mean anything with them this year. And now look at it. It's gotten even worse.
That's what I was going to say. Like, in any way, the argument should be stronger because there's no fans.
Right.
Like, just come on, one.
Yes. It shouldn't be that hard. All right, I'm going to throw one out I like. I like LaSalle at St. Joe's. You know why?
Why?
Because St. Joe's effing sucks. That's why.
And they're coming off a pause too, right? They haven't played in 20-something days.
No, I think they played. I thought they played.
No, they played the other night, I thought.
Yeah, they've lost. I mean, they've won one conference game. I think they won like one conference game last year. LaSalle's not great, but they've got some.
No, they did get. Yeah, they haven't played.
It's been a while.
They haven't played since January 30th.
Yeah, I mean, I really, really like that. I really like LaSalle a lot.
Wow,
I did not expect that line to be 3.5.
Lionel Simmons is not walking through that door, but he doesn't need to walk through that door for LaSalle to beat the crap out of the Hawks.
No,
I mean, that's a bad basketball team. And again, without Ryan Daly, it's completely different. Like Ryan Daly, to me, again, he would have made a huge difference on this team. All right, so I like them. I like Pepperdine, given 3.5 at Santa Clara. Santa Clara just got back from a pause. Pepperdine's playing really good basketball, and they're in the mix for the second spot right now in the WCC. So they're fighting BYU for the number 2 seed. Now, again, the whole Ken Pom rankings and the algorithm screws me up a little bit in the WCC, but I still think they're number 2 at this point. So I'm going to take Pepperdine and Colby Ross and Kessler Edwards and say that Santa Clara, I didn't even think they were necessarily going to like come back this year. A lot of these WCC schools, I didn't know if they were going to San Diego, Santa Clara. They have been off for a while. So I like Pepperdine here.
I got 2 Goodman specials for you, Jeff. You ready?
I probably
have. Snyder has not played in 28 days. They are playing at Quinnipiac. Last time we bet on Quinnipiac, they lost to Canisius twice. And Canisius was coming off a pause of like 30-something days. But
who you faded out. Who?
Ryder has not played in 28 days. They're at Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac is laying 4. I like Quinnipiac there. The other one, Eastern Michigan, has not played in 25 days. They are at Kent State, and I believe that line is 14. So 14.5 now at Bet River. So I like both of those teams. The Jeff Goodman specials there.
Yep. No, I love that. I love going against Eastern Michigan. He's kind of
Navy and American are playing for the 3rd time.
Yep. No, I like Navy there. I like Navy
me
there
too.
a lot, to be honest. Americans played 4 games all year, haven't they?
Yes.
How many games have they played?
2-2. This is their 3rd game against Navy.
Think about that. They played 4 games all year, and they're going to play 5 games, and 3 of them are against American. It's I mean, against Navy. It's ridiculous.
My favorite stat there is that Loyola, Maryland, right now is 2-7 on the season. They've played 9 games. 6 of those games have been against Lafayette.
Wow. Well, those pods, man, it was stupid. Oof. The Patriot, I mean, but at least the Patriots playing unlike the Ivy. They decided, like, we're going to play under our terms.
No doubt.
But we're going to play. Doubt. So, like, I wish the Ivy had done that at least.
Goodman, let's do this to kind of get ready to wrap things up. I want your 3 favorite bets of the day from both of you guys.
All right.
I can go first because I got 3 lined up ready to go.
Okay.
The number 1 for me is UConn at Villanova. I still think that they're undervalued now that they have everyone back. Book Knight's obviously healthy. They got Andre Jackson back. I think that with Book and Tyrese Martin and Andre Jackson, they can kind of match up with Villanova's versatility on the perimeter. And where Villanova struggles, I think, is guarding people that can put the ball on the floor and get to the rim. I think UConn's got a lot of those dudes. I love Virginia for all the reasons that we talked about before. I think that's -2 right now. And then the last one for me is Illinois -5.5 at Michigan. So those are my 3 favorite bets of the day. What do you got, Steve?
I'm going to go Virginia also, which is going to be a long way away, knowing that's an 8 o'clock game. I'm going to take Izzo with the points at Assembly Hall.
Wow. Look at that.
I'm trying to think how many points he's going to win that game because I think that's going to be a bucket of blood with those guys' defensive game planning for each other. So it's not going to be pretty. I don't think I'm going to watch that whole game. I'll probably check in around halftime to see what the score is, but we're getting 6 there. I like Izzo there. And you mentioned Syracuse, Jeff, needing a win. I think a team that really, really needs a win. It's a dangerous spot. The line stinks, but I really think they have something to prove, and that's Missouri. I think Missouri's got to get a win. I think they go to South Carolina. They're given 3. I'll take my chances with Missouri there.
Isn't South Carolina banged up too?
Yeah.
Some guys, right?
He's out. Cousinard's out, but
yeah.
He hasn't really shot it very well anyway. Good defender. I'm going to go Syracuse. Love Syracuse. Love the LaSalle Explorers. And my last one is going to be Kent State, given 13.5 to Eastern Michigan. I think Eastern Michigan's kind of a dead team. I think Rob Murphy, their coach, is on his way out. So those are my 3 at this point. But listen, glad to have you on.
Awesome to be on.
Glad we brought you on. Good to see you. It's been way too long.
Absolutely.
Way too long. We'll figure something out here once the warm weather hits. I got to get Talia up to D.C. to see maybe Maryland. I don't know if she can get into school at Maryland, but we got to get her up there at GW, Maryland.
I was going to say, plenty of places down here.
Exactly. She can get in some technical school or something over in D.C. Don't worry. No, her grades are way better than mine. Just not.
They better be.
Yeah, they are. Well, it's
just
pretty easy.
Take her out to Tucson because she ain't going to come back.
No, that's a good point. Well, listen, happy Saturday. Thanks for joining us, Stanford Steve, and the biggest degenerate gambler I know. So you're perfect for this show.
Appreciate what you guys are doing. Watch and catch as much as I can. Love it. I know all the people at all the different schools. What you guys have done is everybody's loving it. So this is your time of year, boys. Go to eat it up.
Love you, man.
All right, brother.